Most people think vanilla is just a flavoring. They buy it from the grocery store for $5 and never think twice. But what if I told you that pure vanilla is worth more than gold? What if I told you that a single vanilla orchid plant can generate thousands of dollars in pure profit? And what if I told you that some vanilla specimens are so rare and potent that collectors will pay $50,000 or more just to own them? Stay with me as we explore the underground world of vanilla cultivation, the shocking prices that real vanilla commands, and how ordinary people are building six-figure incomes from this single plant. Let me start with a number that will blow your mind. Real vanilla, the kind extracted from vanilla orchids, costs between $12 and $18 per gram on the black market. That means 1 pound of pure vanilla extract is worth $18,000. 1 pound. To put this in perspective, gold costs about $60 per gram. Vanilla is 300 times more expensive than gold by weight. This is not an exaggeration. This is the current global market reality. The reason is simple. Vanilla orchids are notoriously difficult to grow. They require specific humidity levels, specific temperatures, and specific light conditions. They take 3 to 4 years just to produce their first flowers. And even then, the flowers must be hand-pollinated. Yes, hand-pollinated. In Madagascar, where 70% of the world's vanilla comes from, farmers still use the same hand-pollination technique that was developed in the 1800s. Because of this extreme scarcity and labor intensity, vanilla prices have skyrocketed over the past decade. In 2017, vanilla reached $292 per kilogram. That was the peak. Since then, prices have stabilized between $40 and $50 per kilogram on the wholesale market. But premium, organic, hand-harvested vanilla from Madagascar or Tahiti, that commands premium prices. We are talking anywhere from $100 to $300 per kilogram. And for the rarest, most potent varieties, prices can exceed $500 per kilogram. The vanilla plant, scientifically known as Vanilla planifolia, is an orchid. It is not a tree. It is not a shrub. It is a climbing vine orchid that produces long, thin, green pods. These pods contain thousands of tiny seeds surrounded by a fragrant substance. This is where the vanilla flavor and aroma come from. One vanilla pod, properly cured and dried, can cost anywhere from $2 to $8 depending on quality and origin. But here is where it gets interesting for potential growers. A single mature vanilla plant can produce between 1 and 2 kilograms of dried vanilla pods per year. That is between 2 and 4 pounds. At wholesale prices of $50 per kilogram, one plant generates $50 to $100 per year in raw product value. But for premium varieties, that same plant could generate $500 to $1,000 per year. Now scale that up. A commercial vanilla farm with 5,000 plants is producing 5 to 10,000 kilograms of vanilla per year. At conservative wholesale prices, that is $250,000 to $500,000 in annual revenue. But premium producers? They are grossing over $1 million per year from 5,000 plants. The demand is insatiable. Vanilla is used in 60% of all foods and beverages: ice cream, chocolate, perfumes, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics. The global vanilla market is worth over $600 million annually and growing every single year. But let me be clear, growing vanilla is not easy. And this is exactly why the prices are so high. It is the difficulty that creates the value. First, vanilla requires warmth. It grows naturally in tropical rainforests between the equator and 25 degrees latitude. It needs temperatures between 60 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Too cold and it dies. Too hot and the pods split open prematurely. This means most vanilla cultivation happens in Madagascar, Mexico, Tahiti, Indonesia, and Uganda. But it also means that if you live in a temperate climate, you can still grow vanilla indoors with climate control. Second, vanilla requires humidity. It needs between 50 and 70% relative humidity. This is critical. Without it, the flowers will not set pods. This is why hand pollination is so important. The natural pollinators, a specific species of bee native to Mexico, do not exist in Madagascar or other vanilla growing regions, so farmers hand pollinate every single flower. Third, vanilla requires support. The vines can grow 10 feet long or longer. They need wooden poles or trellises to climb. They cannot be left on the ground. And they need partial shade. Direct sunlight burns the leaves. Fourth, and most importantly, vanilla takes time. You cannot plant a vanilla seedling and expect flowers in a year. It takes 3 to 4 years for a vanilla plant to mature enough to flower. This is the biggest barrier to entry for new growers: the upfront cost and the waiting period. But here is the opportunity. Because so few people are willing to wait 4 years, vanilla is in chronic undersupply. And undersupply means high prices. And high prices mean massive profit margins for those patient enough to invest. Let me break down the numbers for you. This is real-world data from vanilla farmers in Madagascar and Mexico. To start a vanilla farm with 1,000 plants, your initial investment is approximately $3,000 to $5,000. This includes seedlings, potting soil, trellises, shade cloth, and basic climate control. Per plant, that is $3 to $5. Your annual operational costs are approximately $2 to $3 per plant. This includes fertilizer, pest management, hand pollination labor, and maintenance. So for 1,000 plants, that is $2,000 to $3,000 per year. Now the income. In year 1 and 2, you have zero revenue because the plants are not yet mature. This is the waiting period. In year 3, a percentage of your plants will flower and produce pods, let us say 30%. That is 300 plants. Each produces 1 kilogram of vanilla. At conservative wholesale prices of $50 per kilogram, that is $15,000 in revenue. Your net profit in year 3 is $15,000 minus $3,000 in costs equals $12,000. But you are also scaling. You are planting more plants every year. By year 5, you have 5,000 mature plants, each producing 1 kilogram per year. 5,000 kilograms at $50 per kilogram is $250,000 in annual revenue. Minus $5,000 to $10,000 in operational costs, you are looking at $240,000 in annual net profit. From a $5,000 initial investment 5 years prior. And if you focus on premium varieties and direct-to-consumer sales, cutting out the middleman, your margins expand dramatically. Premium vanilla extract sells for $100 per ounce online. One mature plant produces enough vanilla to generate $3,000 to $5,000 in finished product. This is why I am telling you this. Vanilla is not just a plant. It is a long-term wealth-building asset. It is passive income on a 5 to 7 year timeline. Now, within the vanilla world, there are rare and premium varieties that command even higher prices. These are the plants that serious collectors pursue. Tahitian vanilla, also called Vanilla tahitensis, is a distinct species. It produces shorter, thicker pods with a completely different flavor profile than Madagascar vanilla. It is more floral, more cherry-forward. Tahitian vanilla pods cost anywhere from $8 to $15 each. The plants themselves are harder to find and more expensive to purchase as seedlings. But the market premium is worth it. Mexican vanilla, Vanilla planifolia grown in Mexico, is considered by many to be the finest vanilla in the world. The terroir, the climate, the soil, produces vanilla with complex, deep flavor notes. Mexican vanilla commands prices of $150 to to $250 per kilogram wholesale. Some boutique producers get $500 per kilogram. A single Mexican vanilla plant can generate $500 to $1,000 per year in revenue for a serious cultivator. But the rarest variety is something called black vanilla, or vanilla nigrescent. This is not a common commercial variety. It is a specialty cultivar that has been selectively bred for extreme potency and complexity. Only a handful of growers worldwide produce black vanilla. Pods are jet black, dense, and incredibly aromatic. Black vanilla costs $300 to $500 per kilogram. A single plant can generate $1,000 to $2,000 per year. And then there is the ultimate rarity: collector's grade vanilla specimens. These are 100-year-old vines that have been cultivated by single families for generations. These plants produce vanilla of unparalleled quality. A single pod from a century-old vine can sell for $50 to $100. Yes, per pod. That is not per kilogram, that is per individual pod. A mature century-old vanilla plant producing 100 pods per year generates $5,000 to $10,000 in revenue annually. And these plants sell as collectibles for $50,000 to $100,000. Now let me talk about how you can actually grow vanilla at home. This is practical information you can implement immediately. First, sourcing. You need a healthy vanilla seedling or a rooted cutting. These are available online from specialty orchid nurseries. Expect to pay $15 to $30 per seedling. Buy 3 or 4 to increase your success rate. Second, the growing medium. Vanilla does not grow in regular potting soil. It grows as an epiphytic orchid, meaning it naturally grows on the sides of trees, not in the ground. Use a medium that drains well. Orchid bark, sphagnum moss, and perlite mixed together works perfectly. The medium should retain some moisture but never be soggy. Third, the container. Vanilla vines grow long. Use a tall pot, at least 8 inches in diameter. Or better yet, use a wooden trellis system where the vine can climb vertically. This maximizes growth and flowering. Fourth, light. Vanilla needs bright, indirect light, not direct sun. A south-facing window with filtered light is ideal. In a greenhouse, use 40 to 50% shade cloth. Fifth, humidity and temperature. This is critical. Maintain humidity between 50 and 70%. Use a humidifier if necessary. Keep temperatures between 65 and 80 degrees. These ranges are non-negotiable. Sixth, feeding. Vanilla is not a heavy feeder, but it does need nutrients. Use a balanced orchid fertilizer every 2 weeks during the growing season. Back off during dormancy. Seventh, water. Water when the top inch of medium is dry. Never let it sit in standing water. And use filtered or distilled water if possible. Vanilla is sensitive to chlorine and mineral salts. Eighth, hand-pollination. When your plant finally flowers, usually in years 3 or 4, you will see small pale yellow flowers. These last only 1 day. You must hand-pollinate them on that day or you lose the pod. Use a small paintbrush or a toothpick. Transfer pollen from the anther to the stigma. It takes 30 seconds per flower. Follow these steps and you will have vanilla pods within 4 years. From there, you scale. Climate change is affecting vanilla production. Madagascar, which supplies 70% of global vanilla, is experiencing more extreme weather. Cyclones, droughts, floods. This is driving prices up even more. Farmers are losing entire crops to weather events. At the same time, demand for natural vanilla is increasing. Consumers are rejecting synthetic vanillin and demanding real vanilla. Food companies are marketing vanilla as a premium ingredient. Perfume houses are using more vanilla than ever before. This creates a perfect market for small-scale growers. If you grow vanilla at home or on a small farm, you have multiple revenue streams. You can sell dried pods to specialty retailers. You can make vanilla extract and sell it on Etsy or Amazon. You can sell collectible mature plants to other enthusiasts. You can consult with other growers. you can create content about vanilla cultivation and monetize that content. The vanilla market is not saturated. It is undersupplied. And that undersupply is only going to deepen as climate change impacts Madagascar, which means prices will continue rising. A person who plants vanilla seedlings today and waits 4 years will be harvesting vanilla in an era of even higher prices than we see today. That is a guaranteed profit multiplier. Vanilla is more than a plant. It is a financial asset. It is proof that patience and cultivation can generate wealth. In the next video in this series, we are exploring another plant that is worth more than gold. One that grows faster than vanilla. One that has an even more shocking price tag. You do not want to miss it. Subscribe now and hit the notification bell.